Hi everyone, thank you for watching. So in the last video, I promised to show you how to make technology-based activities that help students understand visuals. Creating these kinds of activities is actually what made me want to get my PhD, because I find it incredibly exciting to create something that helps students learn and then to do research on how to design them better so that students learn more. So let's get down to business. Developing technology-based activities is actually not that difficult, and I have some shortcuts that will allow you to do this in about 10 minutes. In my lab, we use a tool called Cognitive Tutor Authoring Tools, or CTAT for short, and that makes this really easy, and you can download CTAT for free. I will add a link to it below. So each activity consists of a front end, which is the interface that students actually see and interact with, and the back end, which takes care of grading, giving feedback, and hints. So let me show you the front end first. Here's an example interface. It's essentially an HTML web page, but not everybody who works in my lab knows how to write HTML code. That is because I like to have students from various fields like chemistry or math or education or psychology or other non-computer science fields. So to make this easier for them, I use templates, and I'll make those available to you below as well. The templates allow you to just replace the text and some of the interactive components that you see here. So let me show you how to do that. I wrote up a little example problem already, and I did that in Word. It's a very simple problem that helps kids understand how pie charts show fractions. And as you can see, this problem has 5 steps, each with a different visual. So let's make the HTML web page. You'll just open up my template in any editor, and Windows comes with a program called Notepad++, so I will use that one to show this to you. So now I can just copy and paste the text from my Word document into the HTML. And I added these comments here to make it easier for you to find where to put the text. So I do this for the text, and then for the answer options, I thought of 3 incorrect options along with the correct ones. And those go into a drop-down menu here, separated by commas. Now I also want to link the pictures. I put those pictures into a folder called pics, and I just copy and paste the file names here. Now let's talk about the back end that does the grading and the feedback. This is what CTAT looks like. It basically allows you to simulate student steps and then annotate them with feedback and hints. So this template that I created already takes care of loading the pictures and hiding the steps that I don't want to show at the beginning. So now I go into demonstrate mode up here, and then I switch to the interface and I select the right answer. And now you see that we get a new step in here. So I right-click on this link and I click on hints, and here I can enter some help for students if they struggle with this step. Now I also want to give them some feedback in case they pick the wrong answer. So I go back to the previous step and I simulate an incorrect answer. And then back in CTAT, I define this as an incorrect step and I type in some feedback that would help students understand why this is wrong. Now, how do I get the next step and the next picture to show up? I'm using a little JavaScript for that, but you don't have to worry about how to make your own. You can just use mine. To do that, you right-click on this box here and you add a blank step, and then copy and paste this blue link on top, and then right-click here to change the number from 1 to 2. That will automatically bring up step 2. And now I click on the bottommost box here, and that will show up the next step in the HTML. So now I can continue this in this fashion, and in under 10 minutes I have my little pie chart activity ready. So now that you have these 2 files, what do you do with them? Well, we can put them online. I'm using a service called Tutorshop, which is also free. So I log in, I go to packages here, and then I upload the files that I created as a zip file. So let me do that real quick, and then we go into the Problems tab and we select the CTAT file for the problem file, and the HTML file for the interface. And then we go back to the Problem Sets tab and we add that problem to our problem set. If we add more than one problem, we could actually create a little sequence here. So I could now create classes with students, but I think we've covered enough for today, so I will keep that for another video. So below this video, you will find a link to a zip folder that has all the files that are used for this problem set. And if you want to use them as a template for your own, just make sure that you don't change the folder organization in the zip folder, because the HTML files link to other files, and if you change the names or rearrange them into different folders, that won't work anymore. Okay, now let's try this out. We can go to Problem Sets, search for our pie chart set, and then click on the green arrow to run it. So I can ask for hints, I get feedback if I make a mistake, and the next step shows up when I get it right. Beautiful. So, admittedly, this is a rather simple activity, and you can get a lot fancier, for example, by making the visual interactive. But the most important thing is really that this type of problem draws students' attention to visual features that show important concepts. Also, I want to point out that these kinds of activities cannot replace well-crafted instruction. Instead, they really should augment it. So these activities are most effective if they are embedded in a curriculum that uses some of the means that I described in the last video to help students understand visuals. So I hope this was useful, and next week I will talk about how to help students explain how to translate between multiple visuals. I hope you join me then.